Yeah, it's the guarantee. And what you can see. Let's make it sit up. Make it see. Get this shit that I like you. Guaranteed, niggas be faker than that. Bitches get good reads on how this shit like you gotta read. Because of Hennessy, being ownership independently. When I go out on a limb, I take extremity. I can see right through transparency. Heard his self-esteem low, insecurities. Now or never, like, what's the guarantee? What's the recipe? King Elder Fletcher 3. All these chapters in my life, turn the page. Books can't tell you the story, gotta live it there. Rich got my back, yeah. Copy that. Rip control to see. Copy that. The whole state red like Republicans. So put fire on the track. Now it's over. Put your boys eating. You in trouble, kid. Have first 100 mil. Double, let it go, let it go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show, let it show. Automatic nigga, how we get the dough, the dough. Paper that you probably gotta go, gotta go. It's your boy shit, nigga, let's go, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show, let it show. It's automatic nigga, how we get the dough, the dough. And paper that we probably gotta go, gotta go. It's your boy shit, nigga, let's go. Low sick of only jealous in the motherfucker. Don't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shining king under pressure. West side fat jacks, I took more to measure. Shake the extra stats, business starter, being street blues, what I talk, royal blood flowing free. I want my mind, knows the gang of time. Read between the lines, it was in my eye. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, burn, really mountain shit. Couple high shots, turning the frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane non-stop. The little J gon' take over with my time side. I get right to it. My niggas be taking part. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they need help. My flow is retarded. Think I need hella help. My groove came back. This must be how Stella felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the post. This is how the mellow shout out. We better yell out help. Here comes the double team. You catch me in the spot. Baby, know that the boom is clean. The look and feed that they get the night and day. Shot. Something sun and shit should be flashing like a light when you
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What up, what up, what up? Y'all already know, man, what it is and what it ain't, man. You dig me, man? Ohio Health and Columbus. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is and what it ain't, man. You dig? We here Wednesday night. This week is going by very, very fast. You know what I'm talking about? It's going by very fast. Something that I noticed is going by very fast, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody tapping in, walking with us. Y'all know what it is. Your guy, Virgil Big, a.k.a. Stats with the Facts. Thank y'all for tapping in. And you already know this is A Real Talk Podcast, one of the rawest podcasts on the internet. Yee! Tap in and walk with us. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. You did. How did y'all like last night's show? Shout out to Twister. Shout out to Chicago. Shout out to the Midwest. Right? Shout out to my big homie, Sir Ism. You did. Shout out to my brother, Red Supreme TV1. You did. Shout out to my brother, Mr. O with the info. You did. Rest in the essence to simple to P. You did. All the real ones. I support all the real ones in life and death. You did. Tap in and walk with us, man. How y'all doing this evening? This beautiful evening. You know what I mean? This situation we're going to get into tonight is a very sensitive situation. Right? How many of y'all been paying attention to this? Right? How many of y'all been paying attention to this? This is a very sad story. You know, when I first heard about this almost 2 weeks ago, you know, my heart just went out to them kids, man, because, you know, Akijue or Akije, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce her name, but she, you know, she was the mother of 4 children, to my understanding, and you know, man, and she was unfortunately taken away, you know, but there's a lot of facets and there's a lot of twists and turns in this story. But tonight we're going to discuss something a little bit more. You know, tonight we're going to hold on, let me adjust my light real quick. Tonight we're going to more or less be dissecting this, right? We're going to be more or less dissecting this from a wider aspect, a wider perspective. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to be addressing this from a wider perspective. First off, first things first, rest in the essence to our sister, though, right? Rest in the essence to our sister, AJIKE. AJIKE, I'm going to assume that's how you pronounce her name, but if I am mispronouncing this sister's name, Lord forgive me, right? But I'm pretty positive that's how you pronounce it. This is a sad story. Like I said, to my recollection, she was a mother of 4, and this is just a sad story, y'all. And I'm gonna speak on this from an aspect that most people who do speak on this and choose to speak on this, they're probably not going to do it like this. This is why A Real Talk Podcast is in a class all by itself when it comes to dissecting and discussing these type of situations, right? Thanks everybody for tapping in. I appreciate y'all coming in attendance. You hear me? So much stuff is going on right now. We're being distracted with. We're being, for the lack of a better term, we're being bothered with. But it's all big distraction. And on Saturday, we're going to go in. On Saturday, we're going to be discussing the submarine thing, the missing 5 people, and we're going to connect some dots. Oh, I've been doing my research. See, everybody rushes to speak on things because it's the next hot topic like this. This is almost 2 weeks old, right? But see, I have to wait till everybody else speak on it, and then that's when I'll speak on it. You did? Because like I say, nobody's going to break this thing down and connect the dots like you got, right? And when we sit up here and discuss this thing with this submarine and the Titanic on Saturday, let me just say, everything happens for a reason. Let me also say that people don't just come up missing out of a submarine at that depth. Or do they? Tap in with me Saturday, you'll find out. You did? In the meantime, let's listen to this. Shout out to the African Diaspora News Channel. Shout out to the big homie Phil Scott and this beautiful sister right here, who is a beautiful, beautiful journalist. And I give respect when people are proper journalists. And this sister right here is a proper journalist, though. Tap in.
Marines, 58-year-old white woman that shot 35.
Oh, my fault, so I accidentally hit the wrong button. Tap in, walk with us, smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Let's go.
Finally, a white supremacist by the name of Susan Lawrence, 58-year-old white woman that shot 35-year-old AJIKE Owens in Ocala, Florida, after she knocked on the door to ask her what her problem was in regards to throwing skates at her children and allegedly calling them racial slurs earlier that day. And so it took them a while to arrest her as they were trying to invoke the stand your ground law, as she was saying, oh, it's self-defense. I thought she was going to break my door down, but finally the authorities there said, well, we didn't see any evidence of that. But again, they charged her with manslaughter, assault, and battery for her throwing the skates at the children and things like that. But, you know, the state of Florida didn't even want to do that because it took them a while to do it. But when they finally had to do it due to pressure mounting from the public, they gave her manslaughter, which will give her up to 30 years. But y'all know that lady won't see no parts of a jail. If she does, it'll be a very hot minute. But surely the state of Florida can do that. Finally, a white supremacist by the name of
Wow, man. Wow, this is crazy, man. Let's go.
To Marion County, Florida, on Tuesday, authorities announced an arrest in the fatal shooting of a woman during a neighbor dispute. Police were already responding to a trespassing call at an apartment complex on Friday when a shooting was reported at the same location. Authorities found 35-year-old AJ Owens in front of the suspect's apartment with a gunshot wound. She was taken to a hospital and pronounced dead. The suspect has been identified as 58-year-old Susan Lawrence. Investigators believe that she got mad at her Owens' children who played in a field close to her property. Evidence allegedly shows the suspect confronting the children and even throwing things at them.
Wow.
The children told their mother, and she went to confront Lawrence. That's when police believe Lawrence shot one bullet through her front door, striking Owens in the upper chest, while two of her children stood beside her.
Wow.
Lawrence told investigators she acted in self-defense, claiming that Owens tried to break down her door. She also accused Owens of attacking her in the past. Lawrence faces charges of manslaughter, negligence, assault, and battery. Her first court appearance is scheduled for Thursday morning.
Wow.
Many people are wondering why it took authorities 4 days to make an arrest.
4 days to make an arrest. Oh, gee, what it do, man? Right? Now, I know a lot of y'all is in y'all feelings about this, right? And I'm not saying, nor am I ever painting a picture that our sister AJ deserves what happened to her, right? I'm not saying that AJ was expecting this to happen to her, but we got to be honest, we got to be fair, we got to look at this from all aspects and angles, right? And me being the critical thinking man that I am, I don't make decisions based off of how I feel, right? I make decisions based off of the facts and off of my deductive reasoning after being given the information that is necessary to make a wise decision about what I'm being told pertaining to a specific situation, right? And when it comes to this situation, I know all the information that we could possibly know is not being told to us. So with that being said, I'm going to be very unbiased in how I critique this situation. Now, contrary to popular opinions, I do not celebrate, am happy, or overjoyed or any of that when I hear about somebody losing their life, right? This lady was a mother of 4. And I mean, I don't, you know, to my knowledge, she was a decent person, you know, but Then again, you know, I don't really know her. Not too much is really being told about who she was. Now, does any of that have anything to do with her losing her life? I don't know. It could be argued, but I'm going to keep it fair and balanced as usual, as always. I have to remain unbiased because there's faults on both sides, right? So let's continue to listen.
Despite surveillance cameras covering most of the complex, the police department released the video late Tuesday, explaining why.
Sometimes when we do these investigations of cases at this level, rushing in to make an arrest is not the right thing to do sometimes. In fact, it could probably cause complications or cause errors, because we want to ensure that what we present, that justice is served all the way through the courts, and that the individual gets what they deserve. And that's one of the things. My detectives cannot complete an investigation without getting all sides of the
What did I just tell y'all?
And that night, all we had was one person's story, and that was the shooter's story. But Miss Owens' story had to be told through evidence in the eyes of witnesses who were there. I told you that we want nothing more than justice, and this can only be accomplished by maintaining the integrity of the case and leaving no stone unturned.
Josh, the sheriff said that Florida stands your ground.
Right? Leaving no stone unturned. Right? I'm about to come up here in a second. Let me finish taking care of what I'm taking off that I can't have on y'all seeing while I'm doing it on camera. Man, smash that like button, click on the bell, and subscribe to the page, man. Right? Now, what did I just tell y'all? The number one thing that you must always remember as a journalist is to trust no one's information but your own. Y'all remember when the boy told that to Lisa Ray's character in Players Club? That's actually a fact, right? And let me explain to y'all why arresting that lady the night that she called and made her phone call. Let me tell y'all why, or expound a little bit more on why it would have been detrimental to the case to arrest her that evening. Had they arrested her the night of, it would have put them in a tight spot because, and this is one of the reasons why Florida has a stand your ground law, because dead men, dead people, or should I say, dead people know nothing, right? And the reason why they didn't arrest her that night is because they didn't have enough evidence, information on both sides to make a wise decision. Because see how they arrested her that night, they wouldn't have been able to do nothing but let her go. She just would have basically went down there for questioning. So they did their jobs, surprisingly. This is Florida we're talking about now, right? So they actually did their jobs, and when they made an arrest, they made the arrest, right? And even when they made the arrest, they didn't have enough information or enough evidence to deem it a murder, right? Which is why they gave her manslaughter, right? Now, as upon further investigation, I'm pretty sure they're going to come across information like how they have, right? It is said that this lady was terrorizing people in the neighborhood, the children. She's a Karen, which y'all call these type of people nowadays, right? She's one of those ladies in the neighborhood that calls the police on the little kids for playing basketball and shit at the park and shit, right? She's one of them. Tierra Dortch, what's good, baby? Right? Let's go.
Doesn't apply here. So could it still be considered by the court system as charges move forward?
Well, it's going to be considered in her case in the way that she defends herself and just helping jurors to understand what she was experiencing that day. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I think this is an incredibly difficult case for the defense, and I think they have a real uphill battle. But if they're going to mount any defense defense whatsoever. They're going to have to explain to jurors what took place in that moment. What was it about the immediacy, threat that she felt that she was experiencing in that moment that she felt that she had to use deadly force? The prosecution, on the other hand, is going to concentrate on the history between these people, on this ongoing feud. This wasn't about the moment. This was about a boiling anger and resentment growing inside of her, and that's what led her to make this decision that day. And therefore, it is not self-defense. And, you know, Florida has these laws that are pretty strongly in favor of self-defense, but shooting through a door seems like a really difficult argument to me.
Yeah, the arguments you're saying the defense has to make almost sounds like the defendant has to testify. So we'll wait for that. Terry, what is your opinion of the criminal charges brought against the shooter? Do you think she should also be charged with murder?
Absolutely, I do, because if you think about it, this wasn't manslaughter. I think they have charges for first-degree murder, actually, because for Florida, all you have to do is show that it's premeditated. Now, many people do think premeditated means it has to be planned out weeks ahead, months ahead. No.
No.
At that moment, she decided, I'm going to kill the person at my door. And she had no reason to do that. She didn't really see a threat. I mean, it's a mother and a child, so. And I also think second degree, which is a depraved mind. So, you know, she had a reckless disregard for any life. So I definitely think they could have put murder charges, and I think they could have proven murder charges.
Yeah, what you're saying, Terry, makes me have a question of when did she decide to get the gun? I think that's going to be a big point at the end. What level of premeditation she had? Well, when we come back, after just a few hours of deliberation, there's a verdict in the trial of a former NFL player. His team's reaction from outside the courthouse is next.
Yeah, his ass is lucky as hell too.
We're being here today with another update out of Florida. A verdict came in Wednesday afternoon in the murder trial of former professional football player. Shortly after the verdict trial.
Right. Right. So now here we are. Right. We got Susan Lawrence. Now I bet y'all if I did some actual digging onto who Susan Lawrence is, that last name is sending all type of crazy signals to my spider sense. That's not what we're talking about tonight, though, right? She got charged with manslaughter, right? And it's clear to see that this is not a case of manslaughter. It is not like she was defending herself, her person, her life, or her property. Or was she? See, in all situations similar to this, there always seems to be a ring camera involved, but there's no ring camera involved in this situation. I think that's odd. I think that's very spooky, and I think that's very questionable, right? But you know, some people don't have ring, right? Now peep this. Maybe a situation like this is going to be a reason why they say that it is mandatory on all new housing that you be supplied, that you have a ring camera on your house just in case of a situation like this. I want y'all to understand and connect the dots on how they are, like my brother David Icke say, totalitarian tiptoeing towards global surveillance. It's situations like this that can lead to the exacerbation of the smart grid being more inclusive, being more pervasive, more invasive in our personal fucking business. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, there's a camera somewhere, OG. I mean, you know. But pay attention to what I just said, y'all. I want y'all to be able to start connecting the dots on how situations like this lead to other situations that are directly connected, but will be a result as a domino effect fallout. Right? Tap in, walk with me, y'all. I want y'all to start using y'all's critical thinking skills, man. It's sad, man. Right? Let's go.
questions? Okay. My understanding, the state has previously indicated they wanted to file a motion for pretrial detention, but that position may have changed.
And after reviewing the applicable statutes, rules, and case law, the state does not have a legal basis to file such.
Okay. So in that case, we'll legally required to set a bond for this offense. Is the bondable offense?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Osborne, you represent Ms. Lawrence?
Yes, I have the report and express on behalf of the defense. The defense set a motion to
Tap in, y'all. Tap in. Hit that like button, man. Share on your social engineering, man. Tell your friends, family, and loved ones to tap on in, man.
Go ahead.
Can you please state your name and spell your for us?
Susan Lorenz, LORINC, as in cat, Z as in zebra.
And how long have you lived in Marion County?
About 15 years.
Do you have any friends or family here?
Yes. Sister and friend.
Do you have any assets?
Not really.
Okay. Do you own a home?
No.
Do you own a vehicle?
I do, but I don't know on it.
Okay. How much do you owe on the vehicle?
23,000
Do you have any other assets at all?
with furniture.
These people are broke just like, let me tell y'all something, man. Hold on. Let me say something real quick. Contrary to popular opinion, y'all, most white people are poor as fuck. The majority of people on welfare are white women. And I'm not saying Susan's on welfare, but I'm saying she's poor just like the rest of us. The overwhelmingly mass majority of the white population is at or below the poverty level. So all of this fake ass white privilege shit that y'all be buying into is fuckery. I'm not saying that white privilege doesn't exist. It exists when it suits and fits the agenda. But for the majority, overwhelmingly mass majority of white people who are absolutely poor as the fuck, white privilege doesn't exist. Only when it fits the agenda. Tap in, walk with us, man.
Will you be able to find lodging here in Ocala if you were released?
Probably.
Do you have a passport?
No.
Do you promise to come to all of your future court dates?
Yes.
How much money do you think you can afford to perform?
1,800.
1,700? Say again?
Yes.
I don't have any other questions.
Question, any question like that?
Briefly, Your Honor. Ma'am, you were born, I believe, in 1964.
Yes.
Making you 58 years old now.
Yes.
You're not currently married, are you?
No.
Do you have any children?
No.
You mentioned I believe, a relative, a sister.
Yes.
What city and state does she live in?
Ocala, Florida.
And how long has she lived here?
About 15 years.
Are your parents still living?
No.
You're not currently employed, correct?
That is correct.
Do you own any real property at all?
Susan Lawrence is unemployed, which basically just reiterates and reinforces what I just said. Most white people, most white women are poor and on welfare, receiving some type of benefit, Social Security, welfare, food stamps, all of that. So this whole white privilege thing, y'all need to really get a real life over, inner, outer understanding of what the fuck white privilege actually is and who it applies to. My brother, Sir Ism, I spoke you up, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's happening, Jack? What's happening, Jack? You hear me? My brother, Sir Ism, in the building. Y'all make sure y'all get over there to Sir Ism page and subscribe to my big homie page right now. Sir Ism, that's Sir Ism and Stacks with the Facts collabo. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It need to happen. I'm going to just say that. But, you know, all in due time, man. All in due time. Right? Susan Lawrence is on fucking welfare. So she's poor. Now, like I remember what I say, y'all, white privilege only exists and applies to a white person when it fits the agenda. What is the agenda? I'm about to break it down to y'all. Happy and walk with us, y'all. Let's go.
Am I correct if you were renting the apartment that you were living in?
Objection, Judge, I would expect her not to answer.
I wonder why she instructs her not to answer that.
I'm sorry.
Question of renting?
Yes, sir, whether or not she owned the property or was renting it.
So,
Yes, sir. Okay.
You were renting that property?
Yes.
All right. And are you aware that your landlord told detectives that he was evicting you from that property?
No, I was not aware.
Wow. 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 Hold on. Just wait. There's more. Right? So hold on. So you mean to tell me this lady, Susan Lawrence, a white lady, a poor ass, about to be evicted late on her rent ass white lady who ain't got no kids, 58, damn near 60 years old, was born in the year that the Civil Rights Bill was passed. You mean to tell me, and I'm not clowning her, I'm not ridiculing this lady for being poor, right? Hold on real quick, y'all. I'm not ridiculing her for being poor or nothing like that, man. Like, don't get it twisted, y'all, man. I'm saying this to put some things in perspective. You feel me? Wow, about to be evicted. Hold on real quick, y'all. I gotta send my dude this text message. All right, send my dude the text message. All right, hold on. Right, Susan Lawrence is about to be evicted from her property. For some reason, her representation, which I'm going to say is probably her state or city appointed public pretender, advised her to not answer that question. Let's go. I think we're about to start getting some of the reasons why Susan was such an angry, bitter person. Let's go.
Financial interest rate in any business ventures during your income,
No, sir.
Crazy.
or any additional witness?
No, sir.
Mr. Rustin?
The state does not have the additional witnesses pursuant to the statute. The victims do have a right, I believe, to address the court. In this case, the victims are represented by Mr. Thomas. With the court's permission, he has requested to be the person who speaks on behalf of the victim.
Damn, man.
Thank you.
If he wants to speak on the podium.
Thank you.
For the record, my name is Anthony Thomas. I represent the family of AJIKE Owens. Your Honor, the family has asked that I speak this morning to ask for a bond commensurate with the act. Certainly, the amount of bond or the charges are at a number on schedule that the family does not feel is enough, quite frankly.
Man, listen here, man. Y'all better pay attention to what's going on.
Your Honor, the state, in this case, I believe the bond is about $35,000. $30,000.
So listen to that, y'all. Listen to how the court values human life, and not to be on no bullshit though, no victimhood shit, but just keeping it 1,000, specifically black life. Right? This means that your family member can be allegedly involuntarily bodied, and the person who do it, due to the laws in Florida, may possibly potentially only get a $30,000 to $50,000 bond for bodying you. Right? Now, mind you, this isn't murder. This case isn't considered murder. This is manslaughter, which would imply that it was a self-defense issue. And let me tell y'all something that might not know. This is why when y'all go get y'all's gun license, the instructor will tell you If you get into an altercation with somebody and you gotta pull that Roscoe out, they will tell you it will be in your best interest to off that person. Sad but true. You know, don't blame me. Blame the gun laws, especially out there in Florida. Shout out to DeSantos, right?
That bond schedule does not account for the use of firearms. In this case, that use of the firearm enhances the crime up to a first degree felony, punishable with 30 years in prison. Obviously, here in Florida, we treat cases involving firearms very differently and more harshly. The defendant is facing a charge which potentially could result in her spending most of or if not the rest of her life in prison. She does not have a job. She does not have any real property. She doesn't have a spouse or children, except for a sister who would be considered a tie to this. She lived here a long time. She doesn't have any type of financial interest, no business ventures, nothing like that. Based on all of that information, the state's requesting a $200,000.
Yes, sir. Judge, given, Ms. Lauren's testimony and the amount of money that she reports of defensive asking, for the court to set a bond as to count one, $15,000, as to count two, $500, 3 and 4, $250, count 5, a $500 bond. She testified that she has no passport, she has ties to the community, she lived here for over 15 years, she has no criminal record. I think if the court were to set a bond at the amount the state is requesting, that would essentially be tantamount to a bond for her. We're asking the court for those amounts.
There's been no information, correct?
No, sir.
All I have is the arrest report, and I have it down at count one.
This is the American justice system for y'all.
Because the manslaughter with the firearm.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First degree felony, culpable negligence. Count two. That's right.
American justice for y'all.
And that is misdemeanor.
Yes.
Another an assault, is that 3?
Yes, sir.
Another assault, that's 4. Battery. Those are all misdemeanors. That,
Yes, sir.
those 5 offenses listed.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
Whatever bond this court decides to impose, the state would ask for additional conditions, including no contact with the victim's children. They're minors. I'm not going to announce their names at this point. The defendant have no possession of any weapons or firearms. That she not return. Not return to the victim's residence or anywhere near the victim's residence. I understand that she lives free currently until she no longer allowed to live there. And I'd also ask for an ankle monitor.
Code in the game is a man.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to say the same thing I do every day for the last almost 17 years now. For the most part, the bond schedule is for first appearances when no one has
code in the game, Jack.
Take a rest. I'll call affidavit. You don't have a full bond here. So I'm not going to set my bond and forge the bond schedule because I usually view that as something only for first appearances. What I weigh in every case is, what past record is. Here she doesn't have any past record. That weighs in her favor. But I also have to weigh flight risk and protection of the
code in the game, Jack.
Those don't weigh in her favor because it's the first degree felony. Punished by 30 years in prison, which means she has an incentive to not return to court. Also, we have a situation where a person is killed. I don't think there's any doubt that he was the person who fired the gun. Circumstances of that, I guess, are the what's in doubt. This is not a whodunit as to who was
responsible.
Trigger. It's simply a matter of circumstances.
Right.
So not dealing with the case where really a lot of unknown facts. But what the offense is very serious. All those weighed against it. What I'm going to do on count one, I'm going to set the bond at $150,000. On count 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 4 missions. Set the bond on each of those at $1,000. If she does bond out, I'm going to order that
Right.
she has no contact with the victim, the family in any way. That if she does return to her home, it sounds like maybe she's been evicted or a process of eviction.
Code in the game, Jack.
Sure. If she does go back there, I'm going to order that she only does. If she goes back there just to retrieve her belongings, then she needs to do that in the presence of another person. Probably as well. Probably best for her to find another place to live anyway. But she can have no contact with the victim. If she goes to her house to retrieve her belongings, she has to do that with another person. She does have the ability to live there as long as she's not been evicted. But if she gets evicted, then you can't go back there at all. Okay? But my guess is probably better off not to live there and just have a third person help do yourself. Okay?
So with that being said, y'all, right? With that being said, now we can get start painting a picture of why this lady was so bitter. She's poor. She's on welfare, Social Security, whatever. She's unmarried, childless. She doesn't own anything. She doesn't have any assets. If you ask me, I think they're going to make an example out of Susan Lawrence. It could be argued, though. Let's go.
Firearms or weapons. You have no contact with the family of the victim. If you have a passport, you can return. You will need to be monitored by an ankle monitor to make sure that you do not leave the state of Florida. Okay? The state requesting anything else? There you are. Thank you. Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else they want to ask? Not from the state.
No, sir.
Have a nice, very nice day, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for your court demeanor. I appreciate it. Have a very nice day.
Thank you.
Right. Right. So basically, her bond is $50,000. Right. But what y'all think about that? Right. Now, there's another aspect to this case that we about to get to, but let's listen to what AJIKE's mother had to say about this.
Reverend Al Sharpton gave the eulogy Monday for AJIKE AJ Owens. A Black Florida mom of 4 was shot and killed through a door by her white neighbor after a dispute with kids. AJ's mom, Pamela Diaz, and attorney Anthony Thomas are here with us. First of all, there are no words. There are no words. We are beyond broken over your loss. We start with that. How are the grandkids? And what can you tell us about what happened that day?
On Friday, June 2nd, the kids were outside playing in an open field privately.
Now, AJIKE's mom, she looks very young to be a mother, right? But you know, when you take care of yourself as a black woman, you're gonna look good when you get up in age, right? And I gotta say, AJIKE's mother looked like she takes care of herself. She's a very attractive older woman, right? And I also want to say, it amazes me, man. It amazes me how calm, right, these mothers be in these situations. It'd be amazing me how calm these people be. Now I'm just saying, right? Lance Parker in the building, what's good? Tap in, walk with us, y'all. Hit that like button. Let's go.
They feel as kids do. My 9-year-old grandson forgot his tab. He went back to retrieve it, and Susan Lawrence was there to harass him. She called him racial slurs, said, "This is not the Underground Railroad, you slave." She threw a skate at him, broke his tablet. So he did what any normal kid would do, and he went home and told his mother.
Now, she threw a skate at an 8-year-old little boy. Right? Now, let's be fair, y'all. There's no way to corroborate that. I got to be fair, y'all. There's no way to corroborate that. But then you got to ask yourself the question, why would an 8-year-old kid lie about that? Did he lie about it? And I say this to say, not that I don't believe it. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But what I'm saying, I want y'all to start putting yourself in the mind frame of a real live journalist. You got to ask all questions from every different vantage point so you can come up with a proper conclusion for yourself. Now, let me tell y'all something, man. Let's just say she actually did throw the skate at the little boy, which I'm almost positive is what happened. Now, think of you, black women, especially y'all that are mothers. Think about how you would react if your 8-year-old son came home and told you that the neighborhood cat lady, racist white lady, that just gives so much grief to the people in the neighborhood, black people, came home and told you that this very same lady just called them slaves and said this ain't the Underground Railroad, and then proceeded to throw a skate at your child or children. How would you react? Now, mind you, I'm not saying it's justifiable. What AJIKE should have done is call the police, right? Tap in, let's go.
Ashika and my 9-year-old grandson went across the street to ask questions. She was met with a bullet through a locked metal door with her 9-year-old son.
So, let me tell y'all something about ballistics, man. If she allegedly had a locked metal door, Uncle Diggity, what it do, man? If she had her door was made of metal. Now, what type of metal could be argued? But let me tell y'all something. You gotta have a certain caliber of pistol to be able to shoot through some metal. Now, depending on what type of gun this lady had, which to my knowledge hasn't been divulged to the public, she gotta have something with enough penetrating power to pierce through the door. And it's only certain calibers that can do that. Now, depending on how close she was to the door, will determine what type of gun she used to shoot through the door. Because if it was anything of a 380 caliber, I'm even saying 9mm caliber or lower, Depending on what type of metal that door was made out of, it ain't gonna have the penetrating power to pierce through no door, man. A 22 gonna dent it. A 380 gonna dent it. A 32 dent it. Depending on what type of metal it is. This is where the criminal investigation forensics comes into play. Right? And this is why they have to do investigation to figure out what actually happened. Right? Let's go, y'all. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, Mike.
And to make the necessary calls for help. It's been an emotional roller coaster, devastating. I have 4 young grandchildren. The 2 oldest boys, they blame themselves. Why? The 9-year-old feels as if he hadn't left his tablet, his mother would still be here. 12-year-old.
Hey man, a lot of y'all ain't about to like what I'm about to say. Right? I don't care, but I gotta keep it 100. That's true. That is very true. Right? But that doesn't excuse, that doesn't rationalize or validate Susan Lawrence's behavior. That doesn't put the young boy at fault. He's not to blame, but had he not did that, his mother would still be here. So this is things that we have to take in consideration considering this investigation. And I just want to shine a light on that real quick, y'all. All right, let's go.
He couldn't do anything to save her. He has already started trauma therapy. Good. That was recommended immediately for him. Yeah. The other one too, maybe. Yeah. We're researching therapy for it. Also,
man, my Lord,
who has no idea what's going on. So I'm trying to decipher his crying. You know, his irritability is simply he's hungry, tired, sleepy, or is it he's missing his mother? Yeah. Or they have to tell. Yeah.
Sadly, your daughter's story is part of a pattern of unjustified violence against Black people. From Ralph Yarl.
Here we go.
What is your reaction to what's going on in this country, and why do you think people are so quick to shoot first?
I believe the world is full of so much hate now. You know, there's no regard for human life. Just as it's reckless. You know, the gun laws are out of control. Too much accessibility to guns. People's natural instinct is to shoot first rather than to talk. You know, use their minds, use their words. No regard for life anymore.
And unfortunately, the laws in the state of Florida allow for this shoot first mentality. And that's exactly what Susan did in this situation.
Pay attention, y'all.
Ms. Caius didn't mention it, but in the arrest affidavit, Susan actually told the 9-year-old to go get your mother. She created the situation. She wanted this to happen.
Didn't she check the laws all?
So Susan, see, when we listen to stuff like this, y'all, this kind of corroborates any claims that anybody would make that Susan was being a nuisance in the neighborhood. That information right there corroborates that, right? She told the little kids, go get your mama. This is why that testimony right there, the fact that that is evidence that's known in this case, that right there should be evidence enough to charge her with murder. Premeditated murder. Let's go, y'all.
Yeah, in that same arrest affidavit, she admits to researching stand your ground law. She was using words that the detectives thought were interesting, and they asked her, they confronted her, why are you using these words? And these were sort of buzzwords, clues that made them think, well, why are you using these things? And she said, well, I researched stand your ground, and I researched self-defense prior to this incident.
But she thought that shooting a woman through a door is self-defense, and the woman's just standing there with a child.
Yeah,
Exactly.
in her mind, that's self-defense.
And she wanted to do stand your ground, create that shield.
Yeah. And she wasn't arrested right away.
No.
She was not arrested right away.
Pay attention, y'all.
To me, there's no doubt racism clearly played a part in this. Yeah. Right? It's a critical role in this case. Susan, the 58-year-old woman, she admitted.
What was that, Sonny Huston?
The N-word. She called them black slaves, as you mentioned. The NAACP now has issued a travel advisory and warned that Black people are not safe in Florida.
Uh-oh.
One of my questions to you is,
I know about that.
has Governor DeSantis reached out to you and your family? Have Republicans reached out to you and your family?
No. No. I truly believe it's because AJIKE was a single Black mother who resided in Ocala, Florida. Certain lives matter more than others. Her life doesn't matter to them, just as it didn't matter to them. You know, to them, she's.
Florida is a main hub of the so-called Black Lives Matter movement. So clearly, Black lives don't matter. Let's go.
Because she had 4 children. She was single. She was Black, where she resided. But what they don't know is she was such a beautiful person. I mean, she mentored other young women, single mothers, homeless women. She gave up self. She was not just a statistic. She was my daughter. She was a mother of 4 precious children
Who now do not have a mother.
Wow.
And they have a grandmother, but they'll never feel their mother's arms, their mother's kisses, their mother's hugs.
And Pamela, according to the police report, Susan said she shot AJ in self-defense and didn't intend to hit her, but the investigation determined her actions were not justified.
At all.
Days for an arrest, she has since been charged with first-degree manslaughter, among other charges, but most notably not murder. Yeah. She's pleaded not guilty. Mr. Thomas, why did it take so long for an arrest to even happen, and do you think these charges go nearly far enough?
Whoever this chick gonna view, she's bad.
Question. It's a culmination of a lot of things. Certainly, Attorney Benjamin Crump and I
Smash that like button, y'all.
Obviously, with the sheriff's department to try to get that arrest. And he made the comment that, you know, had the shoe been on the other foot, had this been a Black person shooting a white person, they would have made an immediate arrest. In this situation, stand your ground created that delay, according to our sheriff's department. And so what happens is, with stand your ground, we now have law enforcement whose responsibility is to enforce the laws, to now interpret the law. And so it was an effort between the sheriff's department and our state's attorney's office to release Susan for further investigation, and only because she used those magic buzzwords of, I was in fear of my life.
But this is what I don't understand. How are you in fear of your life when you're behind the locked door? That's the part that, and they're children. And you didn't even look outside to see who was knocking on your door. So you could have shot the UPS man. You could have shot the kid. Right. You know, but she knew the kids were coming because she told them to go get them.
And then she went and got a gun. Can't you prove it? It's premeditated.
That's exactly what we were trying to express with our state attorney.
Let me put something in perspective for y'all. Right? Tap in and walk with me. Put your thinking cap on right now. Remove your emotions. And ladies, mothers, I know this is going to be hard for y'all to do. But I want y'all to think critically for a second with me now, right? At a time in Florida when they are refusing immigrants, at a time in Florida when they are basically not accepting these illegal immigrants coming from Mexico, Central and South America, and the Caribbean, right? They're trying to force DeSantis to open up Florida, which he was doing to an extent until it became a burden. Now, at the same time this is going on, this happens. Now they're talking about being even more strict on the gun laws. Connect the dots, y'all. Please connect the dots, man. And if you have a critical thinking mind still, because a lot of us have been totally devoided of our critical thinking ability, you can kind of get the gist of what's being set up for Florida, right? Let's go. Tap in, walk with us, smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. UN Agenda 2030 is in full effect, man. Let's go.
They're clearly there. Yeah. She used racial slurs. She told the kids to go get your mom. Yeah. She looked at her video camera. She knew who was standing out there. She knew why AJ was at her door. She pointed that gun and she meant to pull that trigger.
So this is why you needed to know this story, because they were trying to slide it under the carpet. It's important you know this story, because you know what? This stand your ground law, this affects everybody in this audience. This could be any one of you. Yeah, it's a bad. Know that it's a bad law, and we want to help get rid of it.
Florida, they coming to get y'all.
Case, I hope we'll finally shine the light on this. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Florida, y'all been set up. They've allowed y'all to carry pistols and stand your ground to create the environment that comes so violent due to situations like this, that they're about to come take y'all's guns from y'all. They're going to trick the people of Florida through mind fucking psyops, resting the answers to our sister AJIKE, in order to trick the Floridian people into giving up their right to bear arms. Because when people feel scared, when people fear that their life is in danger, they will almost be willing to do anything in exchange for security, which means they will be willing to give up some of their freedoms, I dare say their rights, because it is a right to bear arms, in exchange for a false sense of security. Tap in and walk with me now. Man, this is crazy, man. Seriously, man. This is crazy. You know what I mean? This is crazy, man. So sad. Right now, right? We'll put something else in perspective for y'all. Pay attention, y'all. Resident answer to AJIKE, man. I don't want y'all to get it twisted like I'm saying she deserved what happened to her. Especially when I go into this next little part I'm going to go into. But I want to put something else in perspective for y'all. What have I been telling y'all about this fucking guy, man? Excuse my language. This fucking guy, Benjamin Boule Crump, who for some reason took it off of his website that he's a member of Lambda Boule, Sigma Pi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Wonder why he removed that from his website. Anyway, anytime Benjamin Boule Crump is involved, it's fuckery. Benjamin Boule Crump works for the Khazarians. So whenever you see him represent somebody, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Mike Brown, Oscar Grant, Sandra Bland, Tyree King, Trayvon Martin, if I didn't already say that, Ahmaud Arbery, Philando Castile, and the list just keeps going on and on and on. They always pull this fuck nigga Benjamin Boule Crump out. And nigga, I know who you are. You ain't fooling me. So if Benjamin Crump is on the case, if Benjamin Boule Crump is on the case, there's some fuckery involved, y'all. I just want y'all to know that. Right? Uncle Diggity said, oh, he get all the big name cases. The Dems use us. Exactly. My brother, man. right? Tap in, walk with me.
Field is a public field. We live in an apartment complex. Nobody owns anything. We own, and so, it's really big. Even when they play out there, they don't play on the side where her apartment is. They play on the other side to avoid all this confusion, but she comes out anyway. Anytime the kids are out there, she's coming outside. She antagonizes kids. She calls them names, waves, racial slurs.
This is a white lady.
All kinds of stuff. All of the children. Yes, she says stuff to everybody's children. She told my daughter that she was going to be raped if she didn't get off her property.
Damn.
And we hope that the state attorney will consider these witness statements from those neighbors who lived in that apartment complex, who had to deal with this woman who antagonized their children on a systematic basis, on a routine basis. For children playing, and I love what Pamela says in a previous interview, it was her bullying children. Right? I mean, she would bully these children. And the fact that she threw skates at children.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So the state attorney has to look into, was there any racial component when she shot through the door and killed AJ. There was one time the children said not one time, I guess a few times she told them, this ain't the Underground Railroad.
Dang. They ain't playing with that one. Listen, y'all. Hold on real quick, man, because I'll be telling y'all about this stuff, and I want y'all to pay attention to this, man. They are trying to get us to start a race war amongst ourselves. This is why they're bringing all these illegal Mexicans, South and Central Americans, because shit like this ain't working. They're trying to start a race war between us black folks and white folks, but that shit ain't working. So now they're going to flood our black communities, which have some poor white people in them as well, with these illegal immigrants. And mind you, the people who they send into our neighborhoods and communities, a lot of these people aren't good people. They're criminals, sexual violators, deleters, robbers, gangsters, gang bangers, MS-13. Huh? I want y'all to put this together. I want y'all to be able to critically think and put this together, man, what's happening. And it's sad that black people and white people have to be used as sacrificial lambs. I'm going to say what it is now, in order to get certain legislation and certain agendas across. Rest in the essence to our sister AJIKE, right? This is crazy, man. Absolutely insane, right? Absolutely insane. On my fault, $155,000 bond, right? This is absolutely crazy, y'all, man. Right? So we got Benjamin Boulay Crump on the case. Not an official legal representation for AJIKE, right? And I wonder how old AJIKE was, because her mother looks very young. You hear me? Her mother looks young. Very young at that. right? This is crazy, man. This is absolutely insane, man. Right? Now, hold on real quick. I'm about to play this for y'all real quick. I want y'all to listen to this. All right.
Susan Lorenz behind bars, charged with manslaughter after police say she killed her neighbor by shooting through her front door.
We have arrested 58-year-old Susan Lorenz for the killing of Miss A.J. Owens.
Owens, a mother of four, killed in front of one of her children on Friday.
Yes, a neighborly dispute ended in death by a firearm. Another day in America, another day in Florida. So that is Mrs. Lorenz, who killed A.J. Owens outside of her home through her own front door. And so there's more about Mrs. Lorenz's very particular views on Black people. And I'm sure we can all assume or guess, but just some more details on exactly what went down.
Night after Owens' children were playing outside and approached Lorenz about an iPad they left behind. Law enforcement says Lorenz yelled at the kids and threw a roller skate at them, leading Owens to confront Lorenz at her door. Police say Lorenz pulled the trigger, shooting and killing the mother of four.
Insane. Okay, so according to the sheriff's timeline there, this is again in Ocala, Florida. Lorenz called the department at 8:54 p.m. on the night of the shooting to say kids were threatening her and trespassing. She had previously placed no trespassing signs on the grassy areas, despite those areas being shared areas and not part of her rental in particular. Lorenz says in court that she doesn't even own the property, so as if that mattered. Apparently, these neighbors had issues before, that neighbors had witnessed altercations between them before. The sheriff said that in January 2021, deputies responded to at least a half a dozen calls in connection with what police described as feuding between Owens and Lorenz, and that again was confirmed by neighbors. But now we're hearing by Lorenz's own admission that, yeah, a lot of what's driving her calling the cops and throwing roller skates had to do with her racism. So Lorenz, 58, admitted to detectives that she called the children the N-word. One child told deputies that the night of the shooting, Lorenz came out of her house, gave the children the middle finger, and also said, "Get away from my house, you black slave," according to the report.
Damn.
So good, fun, neighborly Christian thing to do. And because it is Florida, actually, Ms. Lorenz was not immediately arrested because of the stand your ground laws, which we all remember infamously from the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman case. In fact, it took 4 days for the charges to actually be filed. However, the Marion County Sheriff did explain that those stand your ground laws are not going to apply in this case. So just take a look at his statement.
It does not apply in all situations. And this situation is a prime example of when it was not justified. It was simply a killing.
Simply a killing. So she's been charged with manslaughter with a firearm, culpable negligence, battery, and 2 counts of assault. But guys, I want to kick it to you, but I can only think about how in any other country, a neighborly dispute would not end in death. It would end in, I don't know, someone leaving a bag of dog poop outside of their door, and you stuck it to them, you got them. But in this country, that's what it does. Another day, and 4 children don't have their mother.
Yep. So I want to address both of those things. Look, we're now at a situation in America where we have an unsolvable problem. Because if you have someone who's unstable and who's yelling racist things at you, intimidating your kids, throwing things and hitting your kids with objects, etc., the problem is there's nothing you could do. Because if you go to try to fix it, they probably have a gun and they're totally unstable. And so
Because in America, everyone's allowed to have a gun. Everyone's allowed to have any kind of gun they like. And I love being constructive, and I want to offer.
It is, Uncle Diggity. It really is.
We're screwed. Our gun laws are insane. Totally insane. We have more guns than people in this country. So when you're dealing with an unstable person, there's no good alternatives. I mean, look at this case. She goes to knock on her door because the woman threw something at her kids and hit him. I mean, how could you not go to her door? How could you not protect your kids? And she gets blasted through the door and killed instantly. Well, what the hell are you supposed to do? And it's because of our laws. Now, which leads me to the second point. Stand your ground. Yeah, first of all, they're like, oh, it definitely doesn't apply. But they thought about it for a couple of days. And that's the arresting sheriff saying that. But her defense lawyers are going to say something else in court. Are you sure she's not going to get off?
Nephew, what's
I'm
up,
not at
boy?
all sure.
Your shoes
I mean,
up,
George
nigga.
Zimmerman attacked
Your
Trayvon
shoes
Martin.
up.
And George Zimmerman had the gun, and Trayvon Martin had Skittles. And Zimmerman got off. She said the neighbor was knocking too loudly, and so she was afraid. Are you sure she's not going to win in Florida? That's the sick state of our country right now. I wish I had better news for you, but I don't. We got to fix the laws.
Yeah, right. Now, peep game, y'all. Rest in the essence to AJIKE, right? Or AJIKE. And I agree with you. The stand your ground law is some bullshit, but I understand why it was implemented. But see, it's only bullshit in situations like this. It's not no bullshit if you out and about and 3-4 white motherfuckers pull down on you like they did that boy in Mississippi or Alabama and they killed his ass. Now, the stand your ground law would have definitely applied in that situation. But in goofy ass shit like this is where we see its ugly head being reared. Now tap in and walk with me real quick, y'all, right? And I know a lot of y'all mothers especially ain't about to like what I'm going to say, but I have to be fair and I have to be balanced, right? AJIKE should have stayed her ass at home. AJIKE should have called the police. Now, I know it was reports that, you know, this lady's been a nuisance and a menace in the neighborhood, and there's been police reports called, but nothing actually happened. This is just the cause of a lady running her mouth. That's not probable cause enough for the police to come out and say something to somebody, or is it? But what I'm saying is AJIKE went about this the wrong way. See, this is why I say a lot of y'all chicks, y'all let y'all's emotions get the best of y'all, and y'all don't use y'all's critical thinking ability. You don't go to nobody's goddamn house with the smoke, not prepared for whatever. See, I know how some of y'all black girls can be, man. Oh, not my kids. That bitch got me fucked up. Come on, let's go over there. Hey, bitch, you got my fucked up. Blah, 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 blah. Now, even if that's what happened, that doesn't justify what happened to our sister AJIKE at all. But what I'm saying is, to you black mothers out there especially, y'all need to check yourselves, man. You need to check yourselves, man. Y'all emotions to get y'all possibly potentially in a situation so we can have your fucking life taken away from you trying to be tough. See, and this is the this goes into so many different angles and aspects, man. You know what I'm talking about? So many different angles and aspects this fucking story can go to and does actually go in. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, let's go.
Politicians are so corrupt, there's almost no chance of doing that. And this is a really bad story, and it's indicative of how crazy this country has got.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, the story is about as American as it gets. I mean, quite literally, it's a racist killing paired with a false claim of ownership of property, right? And that's where I want to get into the reality that is, this is what the United States was made for. This is what the Second Amendment was made for. Quite literally, the Second Amendment was explicitly written with white supremacist mobs in mind, and specifically the desire to empower them. That is what it was about. And so fundamentally, I think this requires more than just a change in laws. I think this also requires a real societal change in the structures of power themselves, in who has power, who is empowered by our systems, how our systems operate on a pretty core level. Because at the end of the day, even if you change laws to make things better, just look at like the Civil Rights Act, for example, you see afterwards that if you leave the same people in power, if you leave the same people holding the same wealth and the same weapons, they will replicate the same exact systems of oppression. They will just find different ways to sort of couch it in different language, to say that it's operating somehow differently and claim that it's not racist when it really is. And the reason why it ties into this is because her mentality was not born out of nowhere. Her racist violence was not born out of nothing. It very much is the result of the core heart of this country. It's quite literally what this country was founded on, is white supremacist violence. And so fundamentally, we need a serious restructuring of society, because when it comes to the legal system, when it comes to
attention when these people talking,
like,
man.
the policing system that we have in the United States, a white supremacist institution that was designed by and for white supremacists and has only been marginally tweaked around the edges. Our justice system is a white supremacist institution that was designed by and for white supremacists, and it's just been marginally changed around the edges. And so until we fundamentally change how all of these systems work, we will continue to see cases like this. And she might get prosecuted because she's actually saying the N-word, and that is apparently the only thing that counts as actual racism to right-wing weirdos out there, because they're unwilling to accept that racism could possibly exist outside of and beyond and in more subtle ways than just outright saying slurs. But like fundamentally, this is something that keeps happening across the country, and there's a reason for it. And it's because our country specifically empowers people like this.
So I lived in Florida for 3 years. I lived in Miami, and I loved it. I had a great time there. It was about 25 years ago almost now. But now I'm going to go back in a couple of months, and I'm a little worried about going back now.
Here we go.
They're now officially like a bigoted state. With the
better pay attention, Florida.
Totally over the top. And I met a father from Miami. He happens to be a single gay father of two kids, and they won't even let the kids show pictures of their dad at school. It's disgusting, right? And now if you go, stand your ground as long as somebody doesn't call you the N-word, and even then maybe, right? All somebody has to do is pick a fight with you, and if you dare to fight back, they just murder you. It's a very, very dangerous state. And I mean, you should have your head examined if you're voting for these Republicans. I mean, they've turned it.
See, there we go. I want y'all to understand how situations like this are made to happen, allowed to happen, to create a situation to make it political. Political, politics, 2 words, politics, poly means many-sided, multiple sides, or many. Ticks, blood-sucking creatures. Put them together, you get politics. That's exactly what these people are. Right? They're willing to do anything and sacrifice anything in order to get their agendas across. Right? I want y'all to understand that, man. You hear me? They will do anything to get their agendas across, even at the expense of a mother of 4 having her life taken away from her, from a person who's clearly racist, specifically, especially towards not even black or white people, but towards children. Right? It's crazy, right? Now, I want y'all to think about something real quick, man. Something that I talk to y'all about a lot. Something that I explain and emphasize to y'all about a lot. Hold on real quick. Now, like I was saying, man, right? Think about this, man. UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability, right? UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability, right? Exactly. My nigga Uncle Diggity already know what it is, right? Right? Now, stuff like this is being allowed to happen, y'all, right? You think stuff like this can't be prevented from happening? Think about the societal issues involved that makes a situation like this even able and possible to happen, right? Now think about when I talk to y'all about HR 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorist Prevention Act, right? Ideologically based violence, violent radicalization. Now, when it comes to violent radicalization, how you think black people across America feel about this situation? It wouldn't be too far-fetched beyond the scope of believability or imagination to think that some black people are being violently radicalized by this. And I want y'all to understand that Florida, they are coming for y'all. DeSantis was put in there to be a so-called opposition to the alleged democratic influence that used to have a stronghold over Florida. And you hear what the boy from the Young Turks just said. Anybody who would vote for these Republicans, do y'all see what's happening? Y'all see how this quickly is going from a mother of four losing her life to a political issue with the Republicans, as if the Republicans have anything to fucking do with this shit, when it's literally all a result of democratic influence in years past, right? HR 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act. I want y'all to understand that the very government that's implemented this legislation exacerbates it, imposes it upon us. This is considered or could be considered ideologically based violence. And as a result, people getting emotionally charged up, another white person kills another black person, violent radicalization. I want y'all to understand, and I'm gonna share this with y'all. Y'all know what they want to do when they find areas in the country that are being hit with violent acts due to violent radicalization based behind ideologically based violence being spread on the internet. I told y'all what they want to do with this shit when they find it. They plan to eradicate it. Do y'all know what eradicate means? Right? I'm sitting up here trying to tell y'all, man. Y'all got to understand where this shit is going, man. Right? They want our society to be so increasingly violent. You hear me? To where we're going to beg them. Oh my God. White people are killing black people. Black people are killing black people. Women are killing men. Something has to be done. What are y'all going to do about it? What's the solution? Rescind, get rid of the stand your ground law at the same time where they are about to inundate and flood, basically invade our cities, sanctuary cities, with all these illegal immigrants from Central and South America and Mexico and the Caribbean, right? With a very, I'll talk about, there's been reports that out of all these illegal immigrants coming to our countries, roughly 30 to 40% of them are criminals. 30 to 40% of these people that are migrating here, do y'all really think that these people are walking from South America to the United States border? Do y'all really believe that? Do y'all actually believe that? Like, do y'all actually believe that a motherfucker walking from goddamn it Brazil to fucking Mexico, Texas border? Y'all actually believe that shit, man? Fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here, right? This shit is being intentionally done, y'all. And I want y'all to understand not only how it's being done, but why is it being done. Right? They want to destabilize, like I said on my brother Red's show, man. They want to destabilize our economy at the same time making our societies so violent, and the race riots, the race war between black and white America, that shit ain't going. It ain't gelling, it ain't vibing, it ain't popping. So what they're going to do is they're going to bring in all these illegal immigrants, South America, Central America, Caribbean, Mexico, and they're going to flood our black communities, which most of them are democratic sanctuary cities ran by buck-broken, bootleg, bitch-ass niggas and broads. And then we're going to have the Safety Act in Florida that is going to be implemented nationwide. So now we're going to have very lawless states because the Republicans are so conservative and stand your ground, and see what happens when people are allowed to stand their ground. So how are you going to fucking defend your life, your liberty, your property, your family when we get all these illegals coming into our country? 30 to 40% of them fucking criminals. I want y'all to be able to connect the dots on this shit, man. My man BJ, what's good? 5 614. What it do, man? Right? It's just starting to piss me off for real, man. It's pissing me off on a lot of levels because my brethren and sisters suffer from the lack of understanding and knowledge. Now, here's some neighbors reacting to this situation. Let's go.
Race of the victim and the suspect heightened tensions. Yeah, we've been talking to them back and forth, and they want to make their message clear to everyone at the same time first. But we will have a sit down with them later on today. And this arrest of the suspect comes after days of public outcry for her to be put behind bars. Investigators say witnesses told them that AJIKE AJ Owens was confronting Susan Lawrence after a dispute with her children who were playing in a field next to her home. Now, Lawrence is now accused of throwing a skate at one of the kids, and that's when AJ went next door. Investigators tell us that Lawrence then shot and killed AJ by shooting through her closed door. Originally, she was put into handcuffs and placed in a patrol car, but was let go after investigators said that had to look into her claims that she was standing her ground. Now, there's no question that the race of the victim and the suspect heightened tensions even more. Lawrence was not immediately arrested, and that led us to seeing protesters marching through downtown Ocala yesterday, and ultimately inside the courthouse to the state attorney's office, demanding that action be taken. Now, prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump is working with the family. His team has blamed the delayed arrest on the controversial stand your ground law. And while someone is now behind bars, they say they will not be satisfied until a conviction is made. Now, the family and Trump are expected to speak coming up in just a few moments. We do have a crew inside. As soon as they start speaking, we'll have it in its entirety on our Western News Facebook page and also right here on Western News at noon. But earlier today, our own Tony Atkins was also in Marion County talking to neighbors about the reaction of that arrest that occurred overnight.
From the basketball hoops to the bikes left roadside, no doubt this neighborhood tells the story of a place where kids spend a lot of time outside. Today, the streets are quiet after days of tension.
She took someone's kid's mom away. She didn't just kill someone, she killed someone's mom.
Megan Stevens is talking about her neighbor from across the street, Susan Lawrence, who's now charged with shooting her neighbor from next door, AJIKE Owens, or AJ for short. Parents here say all the kids play outside together, many of them black or mixed. They say Lawrence would often call them slurs before things escalated.
Wow.
Calling them the N-word, hard R, whatever, stuff that.
This memorial right here is the result of what happened in this field. Now, people in this neighborhood say this field is where kids like to play. You can see why, because it has so much space, and this is where all the children in the area would come and play. Now, they say that Lawrence really had an issue with kids playing near her home. It eventually escalated, and Owens came over from her house across the street to confront Lawrence, and that's when deputies say she shot through her front door, killing Owens.
And I heard a bang on my door so loud that my windows were shaking. And I came outside, and her son was literally gasping for air, telling me that his mother had been shot by the lady across the street.
You said you knew who that was?
I knew who it was immediately.
Phyllis Willis says these moments were heart-wrenching, seeing her friend and neighbor dead across the street. Her message to the woman accused of shooting AJ was simple.
I hope she rots in hell.
in Marion County. Tony Atkins, West 2 News.
Man, y'all. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to what's going on, man. Right? I want y'all to actually think about what's happening, man. Right? Violent radicalization. I want y'all to pay attention to this. Pay attention to what's going on with this, y'all. Please, please, please. Rest in the essence to AJIKE, man. She definitely doesn't deserve to die. But what's sad is her life has been used as a tool to push legislative agendas, right? You got the Young Turks talking about anybody who will vote for the Republicans after a situation like this is an idiot. I would agree with him on that. Just like anybody who will vote for the Democrats is a fucking idiot. See, like I've been telling y'all, we as a nation, specifically us as black folks, we ain't willing to do what is necessary in order to bring this shit to a fucking screeching halt. Yeah, I remember that, OG. I remember that. I definitely remember that, right? Detroit is another stand your ground city, if I'm not mistaken, right? And it's the reason why they passed such laws, man, right? Because they knew some of you niggas was going to be going to turn into the wild, wild west out here, right? Now, yeah, you remember that too, Uncle Diggity? That's crazy, right? The little girl just was simply asking for some help. And the dude shot her through the damn door. Because if I'm not mistaken, he looked on his Ring camera and he seen a black body. And for whatever reason, he thought the girl was trying to do something when she was actually just looking for some damn help because she just got in a car accident not too far from his house. Is this a indication of somebody being a racist? Could be argued, right? Could be argued. But I want y'all to understand and see how all this shit fits together, man. Use y'all's critical thinking, man. Use your dot connecting skills, man. Piece this shit together, man. And see what the fuck is being made to happen right in front of our face. Right in front of our faces, man, this shit is happening. The ministry of truth is being established right here on YouTube. I'm about to drop this link, man. In case some of y'all want to come up and speak on this, add to this, say something about this, man. This shit right here is starting to piss me off, man. Not because another black person lost their life to a white person. That's just one level of it. It pisses me off that y'all, my people, my brother, my sister, whether you be black or white, that y'all don't see the play that's being set. That's what pisses me off. Like, y'all don't see what's happening. Y'all really don't see what's happening. Are y'all so deluded by your sense of racial pride that you can't see what the fuck is happening right in your face? Do you think the people who want to bring in the smart grid, the metaverse, you think they give a fuck about white people? Do y'all really think that the government of the United States of America actually cares about white people? And I'm not saying white privilege doesn't exist. I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. I'm saying that it only exists in the pursuit of certain agendas. That's what I'm saying. And it also only exists because we've been made to believe in it. Or should I say, we've been made to identify with it. So it's used as a scapegoat tool to blame shit on versus taking fucking accountability. Now, I'm not saying that some things happen aren't racially fueled, because just like this situation, a lot of situations are. But I want y'all to be able to look past that shit. I want you to be able to remove your fucking feelings away from the situation and use your goddamn critical thinking, which requires no emotional input whatsoever. Matter of fact, emotional input will hinder you and prevent you from being able to get the full use out of your critical thinking ability that you've been naturally blessed with. Now, take away how the fuck you feel about this shit and think critically about it. Think intelligently about it. What is the main goal? What do I always tell y'all are the two main questions y'all should ask in these situations? Why and cui bono? Why is this happening? Why did it happen? Why was it allowed to happen? Why was it made to happen? Right? And then ask yourself, who benefits? Who benefits from us believing what we're being told about our sister, AJIKE? Who benefits from this? Her kids don't benefit. That community don't benefit. Who are the only people that benefits from this situation or could possibly potentially benefit from this situation? And when I ask that question, I ask y'all that question to put in perspective that the person who is most likely to benefit directly from this situation or us believing what we're being told about this situation, those are the motherfuckers who most likely are guilty for what happened to our sister. Now, y'all chew on that for a second. Because mind y'all, Susan Lawrence is the one to pull the trigger. But is she responsible? Is she the only one that can be held responsible for AJ's death? Now, that's the question y'all got to ask yourself, right? Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Oh yeah, y'all can hear me now. Yeah. Hey man, y'all know how that shit be, man. There's a little sun fuck going on there. Y'all can hear me now, right? Oh yeah, y'all can hear me now. Yeah. Hold on. Hey man, y'all know how that shit be, man. I had to fix some shit real quick, y'all. Hold on. I think it's because when I just answered my phone, that's what did it. But yeah, though, man. I want y'all to understand what's actually going on here, man. Right? I want y'all to understand what actually the fuck is going on here, man. Rest in the essence to our sister, AJIKE, man. She didn't deserve to lose her life like that, man.
Now behind bars, they said they will not be yeah, we've been talking to them back and forth, and they want to make their message clear to everyone at the same time first. But we will have a sit down with them later on today. And this arrest of the suspect comes after days of public outcry for her to be put behind bars. Investigators say witnesses told them that AJIKE AJ Owens was confronting Susan Lawrence after a dispute with her children who were playing in a field next to her home. Now, Lawrence is now accused of throwing a skate at one of the kids, and that's when AJ went next door. Investigators tell us that Lawrence then shot and killed AJ by shooting through her closed door. Originally, she was put into handcuffs and placed in a patrol car, but was let go after investigators said that they had to look into her claims that she was standing her ground. Now, there's no question that the race of the victim and the suspect heightened tensions even more when Lawrence was not immediately arrested, and that led us to seeing protesters marching through downtown Ocala yesterday and ultimately inside the courthouse to the state attorney's office demanding that action be taken. Now, prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump is working with the family. His team has blamed the delayed arrest on the controversial stand your ground law, and while someone is now behind bars, they said they will not be satisfied until a conviction is made. Now, the family and Crump are expected to speak coming up in just a few moments. We do have a crew inside. As soon as they start speaking, we'll have it in its entirety on our Western News Facebook page and also right here on Western News at noon. But earlier today, our own Tony Atkins was also in Marion County talking to neighbors about the reaction of that arrest that occurred overnight.
From the basketball hoops to the bikes left roadside, no doubt this neighborhood tells the story of a place where kids spend a lot of time outside. Today, the streets are quiet after days of tension.
She took someone's kid's mom away. She didn't just kill someone, she killed someone's mom.
Megan Stevens is talking about her neighbor from across the street, Susan Lawrence, who's now charged with shooting her neighbor from next door, AJIKE Owens, or AJ for short. Parents here say all the kids play outside together, many of them black or mixed. They say Lawrence would often call them slurs before things escalated.
Calling them the N-word, hard R, whatever, stuff that.
This memorial right here is the result of what happened in this field. Now, people in this neighborhood say this field is where kids like to play. You can see why, because it has so much space, and this is where all the children in the area would come and play. Now, they say that Lawrence really had an issue with kids playing near her home. It eventually escalated, and Owens came over from her house across the street to confront Lawrence, and that's when deputies say she shot through her front door, killing Owens.
And I heard a bang on my door so loud that my windows were shaking.
This Phyllis Willis chick, man, they're giving her too much airtime, man.
Shot by the lady across the street. I knew who it was immediately.
Phyllis Willis says these moments were heart-wrenching, seeing her friend and neighbor dead across the street. Her message to the woman accused of shooting AJ was simple.
I hope she rots in hell.
In Marion County, Tony Atkins, West.
See how they imposing hatred upon us for each other? Vengeance is mine, thus saith the Lord. Right? Now, I want y'all to think about something, man. Right? Listen to this.
Okay, what's going? Take a deep breath for me. Calm down. You said someone tried to break down your door. Is that correct? Yes. Yes. The woman was screaming and yelling at me. Trying to break down my door.
Okay, it was a female. I didn't know what to do. I grabbed my gun and I shot at the door.
Yeah, she had like a 9 or something, man.
Oh my God. Okay, you said you shot at the door, is that correct? Yes, I shot at the door. This is what he told me. I told him that I wanted to. What is this? Okay, where's your gun now? This is my bedroom. I just want to go Okay, what's going? Take a deep breath for me. Calm down. Oh my God. You said someone tried to break down your door, is that correct? Yes, yes, the woman was screaming and yelling. She was trying to break down my door. Okay, was a female? Yes. I didn't know what to do. I grabbed my gun and I shot at the door. Oh my God. You said you shot at the door, is that correct? Yes, I shot at the door. This is what he told me. I told him that I wanted to. What is it? Okay, where's your gun now?
I don't know, man, BJ. I don't know, bro.
I didn't know what to do. Okay, what's going on? Take a deep breath.
Did AJIKE go over to Susan's house on that bullshit? I'm gonna say y'all something, man. I know how y'all black broads is, man. Especially when it comes to y'all kids, man. Oh, this white bitch got me fucked up. You ain't gonna throw no skate at my motherfucking son. I'm gonna say AJIKE went over there on that bullshit. I'm gonna say she went over there on that bullshit. I'm gonna say she went over there and knocked on that girl's door, that lady's door, probably kicking the fucking door. Come out, bitch, so I can beat your ass. You got my son fucked up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what fucking happened. Now, am I saying, is that justification for that lady to shoot through her door? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, maybe AJIKE ain't as innocent as we would like to think in this situation. See, me being a fair, balanced guy, I got to look at it from both sides, right? I'm not going to sit up here and just say the white lady's fake as fuck and she made that shit up. I'm not going to do that, right? And I want y'all brothers out there, because I know, see, it's working just like it's supposed to. It's supposed to pull at your emotional heartstrings. So you won't think rationally and critically about what we're being told to accept and believe about this situation. Right? Now, if there's reports of this lady physically accosting any of these kids before, I don't know. Right? How can we corroborate outside of the confession of an 8-year-old boy that she actually threw a skate at them? Now, like I said, Joe, I'm not saying that AJIKE deserved to die and get shot. But what I'm saying is maybe she shouldn't have went over to that lady's house on that bullshit. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm going to almost be willing to bet money that AJIKE went over there on some bullshit. Because I know how my daughter's mom would have responded. I know how my mother would have responded or reacted. Right? I'm going to tell y'all what happened, more than likely. Mom, that white lady that always be talking crazy to us, she threw a skate at me. What? What? Oh, this bitch got me fucked up. This racist white bitch got me fucked up. Come on. She got me fucked up. You ain't gonna throw no skate at my motherfucking son. Come outside, bitch. I'm gonna beat your ass, putting your hands, throwing shit at my motherfucking kids, you racist white bitch. I'm pretty sure that's something like how it went. She should have called the police. When she would have called the police and said, yes, officer, it's a lady across the street that my son just told me she threw a skate at him. I need an officer dispatched to come out here and remedy this situation. Something along them lines. This is why fathers are needed in the home. This is a result of a single, I hate to go this route, y'all, but this is what it is. This is one of those things that's been made to happen so we can sit up here and say what the fuck we saying right now. Right? See, if a father would have been involved, see, a father wouldn't have just went over there to that lady's house. See, me personally, being a convicted felon, I'm not about to sit up here and go over to nobody's motherfucking house, especially in a state like Florida where a motherfucker can shoot your ass for any fucking reason they feel is deemable to shoot your ass. Me being a Floridian, I'm definitely not going to do it. But me being a person like me, I'm not pulling down to nobody's house unless I got the joint and I'm ready for that smoke. You don't go to nobody's goddamn. I wish a motherfucker would. You hear me? I don't give a fuck what my kids did. I don't give a fuck man, you come to my goddamn house. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. You come to my house, you better be ready for that smoke, whatever smoke that's going to be here waiting for you when you get here. This is why y'all don't be pulling up over people's house unless you prepare for that smoke. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I fuck with my nigga Uncle Diggity, man. We gotta be fair and balanced. We gotta be fair and balanced, y'all. We gotta be fair and balanced, man. Right? We gotta be fair and balanced. Both people were fucking wrong in this situation. AJIKE was dead ass wrong for going over to that lady's house, not prepared for the smoke that was possibly potentially waiting for her. And as a result of her not thinking critically, she's no longer here. On the other side, this lady, imagine if it was you. The truth hurts. What's up with you? The truth hurts. I don't think I recognize you or know you, but I'm doing good, man. And you calling me Big Virg or Big Virgil Bear, so imagine I actually know your ass, because only people who know me call me Big Virg, right? So what's up with you anyway, right? Is Susan Lawrence wrong in this situation? Of course she is. But is she wrong for defending her property, defending her life, her liberty? Could be argued, right? But at the end of the day, we could say that this was premeditated, because when the kids came over there or was in the yard and she said something to them, accosted them, threw the skate at them, allegedly, she told the little boy, go get your mama. See, this is where Susan is wrong at. Because if Susan was actually afraid for her physical well-being, she would have called the police first. She wouldn't have waited till after she done shot through the door premeditatedly, after studying the stand your ground laws and the protocols involved. If she was really feared for her safety, she would have been called the police. Okay, that's what's up. Now I'm just saying, like you said Big Virg, like I'm like only people who really know me call me Big Virg, man. Unless you from Columbus and went to middle school or something with me, you wouldn't know to call me Big Virg unless you just say that to everybody. But you know, that's what's up. The Truth Hurt 726. Tap in, walk with us, smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Shout out to my brother Rare Supreme TV 1 and Supreme TV 2. Go subscribe to both of them right now. You hear me? We're going to be speaking on this shit, man. We're going to keep our fucking foot on the necks of this fuckery that's going on, man. I want y'all to be able to see how this situation coincides to what's going on with illegal immigration. I got to, hold on.
Oh, you got to, you know how we do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got my man Court in the building.
Yo.
We got the nephews over here, you know what I'm talking about. Court, man, I want you to speak on this, bro, since you're right here, man. If you don't want to, you don't got to. But I know you're familiar with this situation. You know what I'm saying? As far as the girl got shot through the door in Florida by the white lady. What's your take on it, man?
Oh no, actually I'm not.
Oh, so you don't know about it?
No.
Oh, okay, so a couple weeks ago, Susan Lawrence shot AJIKE Owens through the door because she was going over there to check her about throwing a skate after her little son. There's been plenty of reports in this neighborhood that this white lady, Susan Lawrence, is a racist. She be talking shit to people, especially the kids. She don't be wanting the kids to play in her yard. And as a result, the kids, her kids, she got 4 of them. She's a single mother, no fathers around, right? So her kids is playing. This is an apartment complex here.
Right.
So the kids is all playing, and I'm imagining there's a common yard thing where you got separate yards, like something like where you stay at, you feel me? So she was feeling some type of way, you know what I'm talking about? And you already know that true hurts, the true hurt 726. So she was playing, the kids was playing, I guess, in what she felt was her area of the yard. So she threw a fucking roller skate at the kids. Now, to my knowledge, this is her first time physically accosting them, right?
Right.
But due to reports in the neighborhood, she's been a nuisance by, you know, like harassing the kids. She don't want the kids to be in their yard. You know the type of white motherfucker we talking about,
Oh,
man.
yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So not necessarily racist, but she done said some racist shit and even admitted to being a fucking racist.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So she threw the skate at the little boy. The little boy run home, tell his mom, that lady threw the skate at us. So you know what, KJ, she's a black woman, single black mother. What does she do? Oh, hell no. You got my fucking kid fucked up. Went over there, crazy. Bitch, you got me fucked up. Open this motherfucking door. You got me fucked up. Throwing skates at my motherfucking kids. Bitch, I kick your ass. You got me fucked up. Yeah, come on outside. Boop, boop, boop.
Damn, so she popped it through the door? Like,
yeah. Wow. Shot through the door. Boop. That's what I'm saying.
About that.
Yeah, so for her to shoot through the door and the bullet go through the door, you know what I mean, depending on what type of metal covers that door, you know, that would determine what type of pistol she had. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, but not only that though, she told the little boy, go get your mama.
Yeah, we know how that goes.
You feel me?
Did she get arrested behind this? Or?
Yeah, she got arrested and she was in jail. They arrested her 4 days later.
Did they charge her with?
They charged her with manslaughter.
She killed the woman.
She killed this woman in front of the woman's son. They charged her with manslaughter, and they gave her a $155,000 bond. Now they're talking about bumping the charges up to murder. And we ain't gonna find that out until, you know.
Even in Florida, I feel like she's going to get charged with murder because there you can't say you was fear for your life because you literally had your secured door was between y'all two. So even though she's pounding and talking shit, that don't give you right to murder. Now if she'd have came to the door with a gun, maybe like boom, boom,
or with a knife
or something like a weapon, then okay. And even then, it's questionable because you're still on the other side and you're still not in danger. Still,
right?
Maybe the pistol because you can bust through, but
right.
She ain't had no.
She didn't have no pistol.
Her arguing of being an angry black woman is not enough to get killed.
And see, and that's why I'm glad my brother Court just said that. I'm glad he just said that because I just said the same thing. I'm not saying that was cause for her to get shot and killed. But what I'm saying is AJIKE is fucking stupid for doing that dumbass shit.
It was risky as fuck because this is what I had to tell Val, like when she used to do stuff like that, I'm like, you can't go to somebody's door and try to bring smoke to them because you're angry and you want to fight them because people aren't really fighting no more. So this ain't the 90s where you
this ain't the 90s.
Outside, y'all fight in the yard. Niggas is shooting.
Niggas is shooting.
Whether they can fight or not, niggas is shooting. Yeah, I'm about to.
All right. What you got to get your share or something?
Nope, I'm literally about to do that.
All right. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, man. That's why I'm glad my brother Court came with that aspect of this situation, man. Right? Like I said, I would never justify or say that AJIKE deserved to get killed. What I will say is that AJIKE definitely took action that would create a situation for her to be killed when she didn't absolutely have to do that. what AJIKE should have done is what Susan should have done. What Susan should have done is what AJIKE should have done. And that's called the fucking police. Stop trying to take matters into your own hands. And 9 times out of 10, even in a state like Florida, it's not going to work out for you. The fact that Susan is white ain't going to protect her. But the fact that AJIKE was an alleged angry single black woman doesn't mean she deserved to get killed for it either. So y'all think about that shit, man. Rest of the essence to AJIKE. Does Susan Lawrence deserve to go to jail for the rest of her life and be charged with murder? Yes. Everything points to murder. Like I said, it's a barrier between y'all. Now, if she came over there banging on the door with a gun, like my man Court said, I can understand Susan shooting through the door. Because, you know, guns can go through bricks, walls, windows, and everything. But if it was just a knife and there was no weapon recovered from AJIKE, mind y'all, there was no weapons to our knowledge recovered from AJIKE. So she didn't have a knife or a gun. We're just putting things in perspective, scenarios to what it may possibly justify Susan shooting through her door, which there is none. AJIKE didn't have a knife. AJIKE didn't have a gun. AJIKE, to my knowledge, did not attempt to breach the premises. Even somebody banging on your door, I don't know. Because if I'm sitting in my crib and I notice that you're trying to get in my crib and I let you know from the other side I have a gun, stop pounding on my door. I'm feeling the threat of my life, which gives me the thoughts that you're trying to break my door down. Then would I be justified in shooting through the door? Could be argued. Now, the thing we got to find out for sure is, did AJIKE go over there on that bullshit? Like how I'm pretty much thinking in my head she did. I could imagine, like you see my man Court talked about his wife, Val, my sis Val, a firecracker. She really thinks she can fight niggas. And that shit need to stop, because that shit'll get you in a fucked up situation, fucking with your girl or your wife, want to run her mouth and be tough, going over to people's cribs like she just about that mess and about that action. Right? And I don't give a fuck how tough any of y'all girls think y'all are. Y'all ain't ready for that type of action. Y'all not built for that type of action. So stop fucking acting tough, fall your ass back, call your man, or call the police. Because see how the man been there, a critical thinking man, I'd have told my girl, my wife, mother of my children, no, call the police. You better not go over to that lady house. I'm not going over to that lady house. Call the police. And that's shit crazy, man. And it's sad that AJIKE is no longer here as a result of this shit, man. You hear me? So, I mean, I dropped the link. So I'd imagine that means that none of y'all want to come up, which is all well and good. But you know what I mean? This shit is sad, man. You know, this is a sad situation, man. And you know, rest of the essence to AJIKE, man. She definitely didn't deserve to die. She didn't deserve to lose her mouth, her life. Especially her son, her children are going to have to go through trauma therapy as a result of being there when his mother was brutally murdered in front of his eyes. You know, he's going to have to relive this for the rest of his life. You understand what I'm saying, man? And this is a messed up situation and all that, man. But, you know, this is a situation that could have been prevented on both sides. So my question is, who benefits? Who benefits from this story and everything behind it? Right? Shit crazy as hell, y'all, man. Sad. This is sad, man. And this is really sad, man. Now these kids ain't got no damn mama no more. And Susan is more than likely probably going to be made an example of. She ain't got no children. She don't own no property. She ain't got nothing going on in her life. Her mom and dad is dead. All she got is her sister. I'm telling y'all, they might make an example out of Susan. Now, if they bump these charges, up to murder, if they bump these charges up,
collaborating to bring you comprehensive local cancer care.
If they bump these charges up to murder, man, she's going to jail, y'all. I'm letting y'all know that right now. If this lady gets charged with murder, she's going to prison. I'm telling you right now. And in Florida, depending on what type of degree of murder she gets, she fuck around and get the death penalty. I don't think they're going to go that far, though. You hear me? I don't think they're going to go that far, but, you know, it could be argued. Right? So before I get up out of here and shut this damn thing down, don't nobody want to come up and ask any questions? Don't nobody want to come up and add to this, speak on this? You know, speak now or forever hold your peace. Put a number 11 in the chat if y'all want me to drop the link. Put a number 11 in the chat if y'all want me to drop the link. If not, we can go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? I pretty much just said all I got to say considering this, man. You feel me? UN Agenda 2030 is in full effect. Don't make no mistakes about it. UN Agenda 2030 is in full effect. HR 1955 is in full effect. And I'm telling you right now, we're being violently radicalized, y'all. We're being violently radicalized. You hear me? We are being violently radicalized through ideologically based violence in order to turn us into homegrown terrorists. The government plans to eradicate areas and pockets, organizations, people who display ideologically based violence and are violently radicalized as a result of said ideologically based violence. What is ideologically based violence? Right? What is ideologically based violence? Right? Oh, let me get this shit for y'all real quick. Man, I keep sitting here trying to tell y'all, man. Damn, where the fucking text at, man? Right? What is ideologically based violence? Right? I'm about to get it for y'all right now. Right? Ideologically based violence. Ideologically based violence is the use, planned use, or threatened use of force or violence by a group or individual to promote the group or individual's political, religious, or social beliefs. What is violent radicalization? The term violent radicalization means the process of adopting or promoting an extremist belief system or the purpose of facilitating ideologically based violence to advance political, religious, or social change. What is homegrown terrorism? The use, planned use, or threatened use of force or violence by a group of individual born, raised, or based and operating primarily within the United States or any possession thereof to intimidate or coerce the United States government, the civilian population of the United States, or any segment thereof in furtherance or political or social objectives. So with that being said, HR 1955 is in full effect. They are turning us into homegrown terrorists by violently radicalizing us through ideologically based violence. And here we got Susan Lawrence, and rest in the essence, our sister AJIKE Owens, right? So since nobody said that they wanted to come up and add anything, we're going to go ahead and shut this down, y'all, because I pretty much ain't got too much to say no more for real. I'm pretty much just set up here and said everything that I could possibly say concerning this situation. Like I always tell y'all, we being violently radicalized by and through ideologically based violence in order to turn us into homegrown terrorists. And if they can turn us into homegrown terrorists, right, that means it's all out war on us. That means they don't need no justification in putting us the fuck down. It's crazy, right? Smash that like button, man. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share on your social engineering. You hear me? Tap in with us tomorrow. I'll be making a post at work later on in the night, and we're gonna be going in for ladies' night, right? Tomorrow night, and we're going to be discussing a very sensitive situation tomorrow. Hold on real quick. Y'all. All right. Let me get to y'all to what we're gonna be discussing real quick before we get up out of here. All right. Hold on real quick, y'all. God damn, man. I'm trying to see where it's at. Damn, I forget what the fucking topic was going to be, man. So, but we're going to go in for ladies' night tomorrow, man. So, and we're going to be discussing, goddamn it, shit, I forget that goddamn quick, man. Hate when I don't be writing shit down because I be forgetting shit. You know, I got a million things running through my mind, man. And, damn it, man. Hold on, I'm going to get it for y'all. Yes, we're going to be discussing for ladies' night tomorrow. This is what we're going to be discussing. We're going to be discussing the importance of mothers who aren't married to their children's fathers. We're going to be discussing the importance of the fathers, of mothers creating a situation, right? We're going to be discussing the importance of mothers involving the fathers in the lives of the children. That's what we're going to be discussing tomorrow. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all tap in, walk with us, man. We definitely going to be going in. Appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all right here with me, and I appreciate that. I respect that. You know, so I do not take that for granted. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share on your social engineering. Tell everybody to come tap in and walk with your guy, Virgil Berry, aka Stacks with the Fact, over here at Able Talk Podcast. Till tomorrow, y'all have a good evening. You hear me? You know, inform yourselves on HR 1955, y'all. Go Google HR 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act. Go look on my live list, right? And go look at the video that I made talking about going in on HR 1955. It's literally one of the first things I ever put on YouTube. You guys scroll all the way at the bottom of my video or my live list. You're going to see it. Going in on HR 1955. Plus, I got like 2 other streams and a couple pre-recordeds discussing HR 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act. Right? Nah, Kane Cordova, we don't know that, but I'm gonna go ahead and say 9 times out of 10, AJIKE went over that lady's house on some bullshit. If AJIKE is anything like the average black mother I know, she definitely went on that lady's house on that fuckery. Right? But you know, we don't know that to be a fact yet. So whatever. Right? But y'all enjoy y'all's evening, man. Tap on the page, subscribe to the bell. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, smash that like button, and of course, share it on your social engineer, man. We out of here, man. Hey, man, fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily. So I dance around them like my name is Alvin Ailey, man. Right? Matter of fact, we ain't even gonna listen to that song, right? Right? I'm gonna play this song right here for y'all. We're gonna ride out to this one, y'all. Enjoy y'all evening, man. Yeah, Stacks with the facts, Stacks with the immediately, the real contender. You know, being manipulated into thinking that we're so different, no honestly. The things that we allow to separate life, man, are the very same things that unite us all. What we gonna do, y'all? We all want. It's time for us to wake up. Conflict creates controversy, causes confusion. I don't believe in it all because it's all illusions. No difference between us, cause I am you and you and me. Everything is us and we are everything. Conflict creates controversy, causes confusion. I don't believe in it all because it's all illusions. No difference between us, cause I am you and you and me. Everything is us and we are everything. When I was sitting in prison, I had the illest vision. Waking up in Coast West, thought I was really tripping. I'm getting letters from Adrian saying I miss you, brother. I'm getting godbody books sent to me by my mother. It's funny how you don't realize till you get locked away. How many years you wasted just was in the way. Many a call, only a few. You chose to know. It's now here, but it ain't over. We gotta try to divide us and keep us separated. But if we all come together, we could never be chaotic. I'm trying to bring all us together, my sister and brethren. And the difference between us, we each other's reflection. Conflict creates controversy, confusion. I don't believe in it all because it's all illusions. No difference between us, cause I am you. Everything is us and we are everything. Conflict creates controversy, confusion. I don't believe in it all because it's all illusions. No difference between us cause I am you and me. Everything is us and we are everything. You in that the 2030 is right in our face. Ain't no virus got us all with mask on our face, man. We get a losing the choice from public politicians. And the black bully, they control our position. You know they give us our leaders, tell us to follow them. All these separate and divide us because it profits them. They ask for us and weaponize, playing us like a hawk. And we still are no better. No feed on no food, say you know they put poison in our water. The business system take violence away from sons and daughters. And I'm trying to clear out the path that lead us from the slaughter. Just do it for me. I do this shit for all of us. Conflict creates controversy, confusion. I don't believe in it all because it's all illusions. No difference between us because I'm you and you and me. Everything is us and we are everything. Conflict creates controversy, causes confusion. I don't believe in it all because it's all illusions. No difference between us because I am you and you and me. Everything is us and we are everything. Everything. Stacks with the facts. He and me. 2020 takeover. The real contender. Realize that we are all one. I'm a reflection of you. You're a reflection of me. We are a reflection of we.